Good day, good people, and welcome to Revolutionary Belovedness. I'm Robert Farrell, and whether you are joining for the live session or watching the recording, thank you for being with us. If you will, let me know in the chat section that you can hear me okay and that the video is good. Thank you very much. Tonight we are reflecting on practicing reverence for the body and the earth. And a majority of what we'll reflect on comes from Wayne Teasdale's work in The Mystic Heart, living embodied and ecological awareness as a sacred responsibility. We're also going to tap into some of Valerie Kaur's work around revolutionary love and the practice of wonder. So let us take a moment to center down and settle in. Settle into a posture that allows the body to feel supported by the chair or ground. Feet rest gently on the earth or floor. Hands rest easily on the legs or heart. You can allow your eyes to close or just soften. Attention can settle into the rhythm of breathing. Breath arrives and breath releases. And with each breath, the body can sense gravity drawing it into belonging with the earth beneath it. The body receives some support from the living ground that carries every creature. Awareness moves through the body with curiosity and kindness, sensing muscles, bones, skin, all of them as expressions of life that are shaped by soil, water, sunlight, and time. A quiet recognition begins to emerge. This body participates in the same living earth that sustains forest, rivers, animals, and skies. And reverence awakens through simple awareness of being alive within this wider community of life. I would like to remind you that the chat section remains open, and you can feel free to share anything at any time in the chat. Reflections, comments, questions if you have them, anything at all. We'll try to enter into dialogue with those as we go. And also this evening, I want to share with you our 4 group dialogue questions that we will look at in a longer period of time at the end tonight. But I want to share them with you now so that they can kind of plant a seed and maybe set your attention just a little bit finer as you listen tonight. 1, when you reflect on your body as part of the living earth, what new perspectives or feelings arise about your relationship with the natural world? Oops. 2, in what ways might daily attention to breath, movement, and sensation deepen your sense of reverence for life? 3rd, what practices help you remember that caring for your body and caring for the earth are connected expressions of the same spiritual commitment? And 4th, how might communities cultivate habits of reverence that honor both the well-being of the earth and the dignity of embodied human life? So just kind of let those rest. No need to take notes unless you really feel called for it. And I will take around 14 minutes to reflect. Then we'll have a period of silence, a guided meditation, and then we will see if we might find some dialogue around these questions. Friends, human life unfolds through a body formed by the same elements that compose mountains, oceans, forest, and stars. Each heartbeat echoes rhythms present throughout the universe. Each breath participates in the great circulation of air that's shared by plants, animals, and oceans. This is what we refer to as interbeing. When awareness settles gently into this simple truth, reverence begins to arise naturally. The body reveals itself as an intimate expression of the earth itself. And this recognition gradually reshapes the spiritual life. Wayne Teasdale describes mature spirituality as a way of living grounded in solidarity with the whole community of life. Within that vision, reverence for the body and reverence for the earth appear as inseparable movements of awareness. The body grows from the earth and remains sustained by it. Soil becomes nourishment through food. Water flows through body, blood, and cells. Sunlight travels through plants into every meal that sustains human life. The body, therefore, becomes a living meeting place where the earth continually expresses itself. And that kind of awareness invites a shift in how spirituality is understood. Spiritual practice includes prayer, meditation, compassion, and service. And it also unfolds through the ways people inhabit their bodies and move within the natural world. Walking upon the land, breathing the air, drinking water, preparing food, and resting beneath the sky all become moments of participation in the sacred processes of life. And reverence begins to take shape through attention to these ordinary yet profound encounters. The body itself carries quiet wisdom about this belonging. Muscles remember movement shaped by generations of life. Bones hold minerals drawn from ancient stone and soil. Blood circulates iron formed long before the birth of this planet. When awareness turns inward with patience, the body reveals a history that extends far beyond our personal biography. It becomes a living expression of cosmic and earthly heritage. This realization nurtures humility and gratitude. It can be quite awe-striking in itself. Humility arises through recognition that human life flourishes within a larger web of existence. Gratitude arises through sensing how generously the earth sustains every form of life. Soil produces nourishment through the patient labor of microorganisms, plants, and sunlight. Rivers travel across landscapes to provide water for communities of living beings. And forests breathe with the atmosphere, shaping the air that enters human lungs with each inhalation. Yes, and through this perspective, reverence becomes a daily orientation of awareness. Reverence appears through attention to the body as a sacred vessel of life. Reverence appears through care for ecosystems that sustain communities of living beings. Reverence appears through choices that honor the integrity of the earth and the dignity of embodied life. Teasdale's vision includes a profound sense of solidarity with all beings. This solidarity grows naturally from the realization that life exists through interdependence. Interbeing. And every organism participates in cycles of exchange that sustain the whole community of life. Plants receive sunlight and transform it into nourishment. Animals graze upon the plants and return nutrients to the soil. Human communities cultivate the land, gather harvest, and share food in communal life. And the web of relationships unfolds as a great communion of mutual support. So our body serves as a doorway into this communion. Through the senses, a person encounters the textures, colors, sounds of the natural world. Our skin feels the warmth of sunlight and the coolness of wind. The eyes witness the intricate beauty of leaves, clouds, rivers, stars. Ears receive the movement of water across the stones and songs of birds moving through the morning air. Each sense opens a pathway into living relationship with the earth. And as attention deepens through this sensory encounter, a gentle transformation begins to occur. Our experience slows. Awareness becomes receptive. The heart becomes more attentive to the presence of life unfolding all around. Reverence grows quietly through this attentive process. The earth begins to feel less like an external environment and more like a living community to which the body already belongs, because it does. Revolutionary belovedness. And at this point, a subtle companion to reverence begins to appear. The experience of wonder. And here we draw from the wisdom of Valerie Kaur and her 10 practices of revolutionary love, where wonder is one of them. Wonder arises when our perception opens wide enough to recognize beauty, complexity, and mystery within ordinary moments. Because through wonder the world appears fresh and vibrant. A single leaf reveals delicate patterns of veins and color. Water reflects sunlight in shimmering movement. Soil releases the fragrance of rain and growth. Even the body itself becomes a source of quiet amazement through its capacity for sensation, healing, and movement. Wonder supports the practice of reverence by awakening attention. And when a person experiences awe through and toward the living world, the impulse to care for that world grows naturally. Wonder encourages people to linger in the presence of life rather than rush past it. A walk across grass becomes an encounter with countless forms of life. A meal becomes a gathering of Earth's generosity upon the table. A single breath becomes a moment of communion with forest and oceans that help shape the atmosphere of the planet. So this experience of wonder strengthens the reverence that Teasdale describes. And reverence deepens when perception remains open to beauty and mystery. A person who regularly experiences awe toward the living world develops a more intimate sense of responsibility for its well-being. Wonder, therefore, functions as a doorway that continually renews the awareness that life is sacred. And from this awareness flows practical expressions of reverence for the body, because caring for the body becomes an act of honoring the sacred processes of life unfolding through flesh and bone. Nourishing food supports vitality, movement expresses freedom and joy within the body. Rest restores balance and clarity. Breath carries the rhythms of life through every cell. And through these simple practices, the body receives respect as a partner in spiritual life. Reverence naturally extends outward toward the earth that sustains the body. Communities cultivate land with care, protect watersheds, and nurture ecosystems that support biodiversity. Gardens flourish through attentive stewardship. Forests thrive through protection and renewal. Rivers flow with greater vitality when communities recognize their sacred role within the landscape. Through these practices, spirituality becomes embodied and tangible. Prayer can expand beyond spoken words into patterns of living that support the flourishing of life. The daily rhythms of eating, walking, breathing, resting, and working become opportunities for sacred awareness. Reverence for the body and reverence for the earth become expressions of the same spiritual insight. Teasdale envisioned a global spirituality, universal spirituality, shaped by compassion, humility, and solidarity with all living things. And so reverence for the earth stands at the center of this vision. Ecological awareness arises through contemplative insight into the unity of life. And a person who senses this unity naturally desires the well-being of every creature and ecosystem. This desire, my friends, expresses itself through loving action, where communities plant trees, restore habitats, cultivate sustainable agriculture. Individuals choose ways of living that respect the limits and abundance of the earth. Collective imagination begins to shape cultures rooted in care rather than exploitation. And reverence gradually becomes a guiding principle for shared life. Wonder continues to nourish this transformation. Experiences of awe and wonder remind people why the living earth deserves protection and care. The beauty of mountains, forests, oceans, skies renews our commitment to safeguard these gifts for future generations. So wonder, this spiritual practice of wonder, sustains that reverence and inspires our ecological responsibility. So through reverence and wonder, spirituality becomes a path of joyful participation in the living earth. The body becomes a temple of awareness through which the earth expresses itself, and the earth becomes a sanctuary of life unfolding in countless forms. And each day offers opportunities to renew this awareness. Morning light greets waking eyes with warmth and color. Fresh air fills lungs with vitality. Food nourishes the body through the gifts of soil and rain. And the evening skies reveal stars that remind humanity of cosmic origins and shared destiny. Through these simple experiences, a profound truth settles gently into the heart. Human life flourishes through relationship with the living earth. The living earth is already revealing to you your revolutionary belovedness. And so our body expresses that relationship in every breath and movement. This breath and this breath. And here, reverence becomes a way of living that honors the sacred presence of life everywhere. And so, as we become more conscious, as we deepen our awareness, our communities begin to cultivate cultures of care. And families start to gather around meals grown from healthy soil. Neighborhoods nurture gardens and green spaces. Societies design systems that support ecological balance and human well-being. Spiritual traditions encourage practices that deepen awareness of the earth as a sacred home. So, my friends, in this way, the path of reverence unfolds through countless acts of attention, gratitude, and responsibility. And each one of those acts becomes a contemplative practice. And the practice of wonder itself continues to keep our perception open to beauty and mystery. Yep, gradually a person begins to sense that the earth itself participates in the spiritual journey. Not that it creates that, it's already happening. It's just creating our sense that we actually recognize that's what's happening. Because forests breathe, rivers flow, mountains rise, and oceans move with rhythms that sustain the entire community of life. Humanity lives within this great communion of creation. And through our attentive presence, our loving care, our enduring reverence, the human body joins this living earth with gratitude and devotion. So let's join in contemplative practice to let that settle into us a little bit, just by taking a couple of minutes in the silence together. Take a very gentle and deep breath. Allow yourself to feel your relationship with the earth, because it's nonstop. You are always in relationship with it. I'd like to offer you a guided meditation now, and you are invited into a quiet time of reflection that we're going to explore reverence for the body and the earth. We're going to deepen our awareness of the body as a living expression of the earth itself, because the body carries minerals from soil, water that is moved through rivers and clouds, and breath shared with forest and oceans. So through some gentle attention to sensation and presence, you can sense how your own life unfolds within the wider community of life. Begin by allowing your body to settle again into stillness. Sense the weight of the body resting on the ground or chair. Sense the quiet support beneath you. The earth holds every step taken in life. The ground beneath the body carries forest, rivers, animals, and human communities. You are connected. So allow yourself to feel supported by this vast living foundation. Bring your attention to your breathing. Notice the coolness of the air as it enters the nose, the warmth of the breath as it leaves the body. Each breath participates in the great exchange of life across the planet. Plants release the oxygen that fills your lungs. Your body releases breath that nourishes the living world in return. And breath becomes a quiet conversation with the earth. Allow your awareness to move slowly through the body. Notice first the sensations present in your feet. Then notice the weight of the legs and the steadiness of the bones. Notice the gentle rise and fall of the chest with each breath. Notice the warmth or coolness of the skin. The body is composed of the same elements that shape mountains and rivers. Calcium strengthens bones just as it strengthens stone. Water flows through the bloodstream as it flows through lakes and oceans. The body expresses the life of the earth in a uniquely human form. Allow a sense of curiosity to arise. What sensations are present in the body right now? Where in your body do you notice ease or spaciousness? Where do you notice tightness, heaviness, or movement? And simply simply observe these sensations with kindness and patience. Your body is continually communicating through sensation, and each feeling offers an invitation into deeper awareness of life moving through your body. Good. Now allow awareness to widen beyond the body. Imagine the soil beneath the ground supporting roots and microorganisms. Imagine rivers flowing through valleys. Imagine forest breathing with the atmosphere. Imagine animals moving through fields and skies filled with migrating birds. All of this life forms a great communion of relationship. And yes, your body participates in this living network through every breath, every meal, every step upon the land. And as you sense this connection, notice the feelings that arise within you. Do you feel gratitude for the earth that sustains life? Do you sense humility within this vast community of hearts? This is where reverence begins, through simple awareness of belonging. Simple awareness of your revolutionary belovedness. The earth is loving you into existence each moment of each day. When your body senses its connection with the living earth, can you feel care and responsibility arising naturally? From this experience of relationship, can you feel a desire to protect life? Reverence for the body will influence the way you care for the earth, and reverence for the earth will influence the way you care for your body. So let's take a couple of minutes and rest quietly with these reflections. Let the body feel supported. Let the breath continue its steady rhythm. Breathing in, I receive the life of the earth. Breathing out, I offer my life in gratitude. Breathing in, I receive the life of the earth. Breathing out, I offer my life in gratitude. Gently allow your awareness to return to the space around you. Notice some objects in the room. Move your hands and feet, neck and shoulders. And know that you can return to this sense of reverence for your body and the earth in any moment, because it is in each moment. It is in the now that you are always in relationship with it. Thank you for sharing in that practice with me. So if you'd like to share in the chat, I will say it again. I try to provide a reminder every once in a while, but you can actually come up on screen if you would like to say something. We'll have to make sure that the settings on your side are correct, but we can certainly try if you're wanting to do that. The first question, and you can provide, maybe you just want to provide like a short answer tonight. You can provide a longer answer, if you wanted to journal privately. Also, these questions will be on the replay page in the Mighty Network, so you can provide replies there and read other people's replies. But the first one is, when you reflect on your body as part of the living earth, what new perspectives or feelings arise about your relationship with the natural world? And if you're typing, just go ahead and continue to type. I'm going to go ahead and say the other three questions, and you can just tap into anywhere you want to tap into. So that question again, when you reflect on your body as part of the living earth, what new perspectives or feelings arise about your relationship with the natural world? Then the second question is, in what ways might daily attention to breath, movement, and sensation deepen your sense of reverence for life? So, daily attention to breath, movement, and sensation. How might that deepen your sense of reverence for life? Third, what practices help you remember that caring for your body and caring for the earth are connected expressions of the same spiritual commitment? Maybe you like to hear it in the opposite order. What practices help you remember that caring for the earth and caring for your body are connected expressions of the same spiritual commitment? And then the fourth one, how might communities cultivate habits of reverence that honor both the well-being of the earth and the dignity of embodied human life? So you may have to be specific about your community, but how might communities cultivate habits of reverence that honor both the well-being of the earth and dignity of embodied human life? Okay, friends, thank you so much again. Whether you were here for the live session or you are watching the recording, we are grateful for your participation in our small community. We have deep reverence for your presence, and wishing you all a wonderful week. Look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. Until then, blessings to all. Good night for now.